From the Ron Miller Race Car Studio, this is the Hammer Down Racing Report. And now your hosts, Scott Hammer and Ron Miller.
Welcome, race fans, to the Hammer Down Racing Report for Thursday, October 3rd.
Number 103.
Scott Hammer in the studio, along with Ron Miller, in the Ron Miller Race Car Studio.
That's right.
Kathy Miller joining us over there as well.
Again, yeah. I get to eat again.
She even has a microphone.
I get to eat again. It's been a couple of weeks
right. She's been gone.
since I ate. Yeah,
it was where it was warmer, although it was pretty warm here the other day.
Yeah, not bad.
Coming up on the program tonight, we'll be talking to Chris Mize, Sandusky Speedway race director, about the Budweiser Cavalcade weekend, and he said he'll field questions about the Dirty 30. And if you haven't heard by now, they have pulled the plug on the Dirty 30. That is not going to be happening on October 12th. We tried to help them out, trying to get some sponsorship there, but
we did everything we could.
Issues there, and so he'll be fielding questions. If you want to ask a question of Chris, feel free to leave us a comment on our Facebook Live feed.
And we'll forward it right to him.
We will. A little bit of an informal show tonight. Yeah, it is show number 103. Last time I was in this building was when we did the show last week, so I've kind of
Scott's been busy.
I kind of came in about 6 o'clock and went through Dave's emails here and threw some stuff together, so it's mostly Ron's show tonight, really.
In the last week, Scott has sold a house, bought a house, and attempted to move.
Working on it. Ocho still is in the old garage, but she has a new home.
You're gonna drive the Ocho to the new place?
Probably not. My trailer's already at the new place because I have room for that there, but I have a big post in the middle of the one garage where the Ocho's going to go. I've already put a support up, and now the post is just kind of hanging there. It's off the ground. I just need to sawzall that off.
You want to buy a car cover? Ron Miller Race Cars sells car
covers.
Do
they? And what's their number?
734-856-7223. Again, that's 734-856-7223.
It's the perfect Christmas gift.
It is.
Or give them away for Halloween.
Keep kids from soaping your windows on your race car, if your race car has windows.
If you're a pavement racer, yes. What was I going to say? I totally lost my train of thought there. We're live at least on Facebook and Twitter, Periscope. Not sure about our YouTube. I don't think that's working tonight for some reason. I think the program crashed on us. So sorry if you rely on us on YouTube. Also joining us on the show tonight, that's what I was going to say. We're going to talk to Christina Hendricks.
Mystery guest.
Well, she's not a mystery anymore.
No.
Of Oakshade Raceway. They've added a special extra race this week, and we'll talk about that.
And she'll be fielding questions there, and I know there are a few.
I'm having problems with these cameras. You froze. Let's see if we unfreeze you over there. Move your head or something.
Who, me?
Yeah. All right. You're moving again.
I'm moving again?
Yeah.
Yay. Oh, I see me. Yeah, that works.
Make sure to follow us on Twitter at Hammer Report, although I didn't tweet this week because, like I said, I've been gone all week. You can also listen to us on your favorite podcasting platform, including iHeartRadio, iTunes, and Google Play. Toledo City Paper's Best of Toledo is back. We want to get back on the ballot for the Best of Toledo local podcast, as we were last year. We were one of the 6 finalists. But we want to do one better this year, this week. This year.
We want to be more than just a finalist?
We want to be more than just a nominee. We want to try and take this election.
We want to take the whole enchilada, right?
So get us on the ballot. Head on over to ToledoCityPaper.com. You can vote for us there, or I believe I had a pinned post. I'm not sure if it's still there. I might have to do it again on our Facebook page.
If it was pinned, why wouldn't it stay there, Scott?
Because now that I think about it, I don't think I saw it when I was looking, so it's probably not pinned. That's probably why it's not there.
How did that happen?
ToledoCityPaper.com. You can go there, and it's under the media portion.
What have you been doing, Scott?
I don't know. Get us on the ballot. You only have to do it once. If you already did it, good. Thank you. We appreciate it. Once we...
And that is once per email address. So if you have,
there you go.
So if you have multiple email addresses,
I'm not saying to do anything I don't know what the rules are exactly. I don't know that there are rules, but anyways,
Kathy, make sure that you go to Toledo City Paper and
nominate us under Best Local Podcast
Absolutely.
category. Thank you. All right, we already plugged your number, Ron Miller Race Cars. He's got car covers.
I do.
and other stuff. And I guess he's been getting caught up on things because of all the rainouts recently and end of the season. So you can go ahead and bombard him with some work on your race car, some welding, some fabrication, some body work.
Absolutely.
Has Don been doing anything?
We can do it.
He's
yeah.
pretty okay, he's got stuff to do.
Don's been working away on that white Camaro there, so trying to make it look pretty.
Wait, was that one that had the plastic front end that was like falling down or something?
Yeah, we're correcting that.
Okay. I'm sure Don will make it look great.
It had a droopy nose.
734-856-7223. That's Romular Race Cars. Last weekend, not a lot going on around here.
Ooh.
Eldora Speedway did have the Four Crown weekend going on. And after a rain delay Friday night, Logan Schuchart was the winner there for the World of Outlaw race. Kevin Thomas Jr. topped the USAC Silver Crown Four Crown qualifying for Saturday's race. And then on Saturday, Tyler Courtney got 2 Four Crown National wins. He won both the midget and the sprint classes feature. Aaron Reitzel capped off his All-Star Circuit Champion season. Let's start over that. Aaron Reitzel capped off his championship season with the All-Star Circuit of Champions with a feature win.
That's a whole lot of champions.
That is a lot of champions. And Brady Bacon was the winner of the Silver Crown feature on Saturday night at Eldora. Oakshade Raceway rained out. And that was supposed to be the final race of the year. They have added an additional race coming up this weekend. We'll call it the Dirty 30 because
we're on dirt.
Because we're on dirt, and there's going to be more than 30 cars there.
That's it.
Chrissy's going to be like, don't be stealing my show. We'll talk to her a little bit later about the details on that. It won't count toward perfect attendance, so if you already booked your vacation or something, don't worry about that.
Yeah,
Coming up,
I know there have been some questions about it, and we'll ask Chrissy about it.
Chris Mize will be calling in about 7 minutes or so from right now. We'll go through some, as again, I was off, so these are my notes. Thanks to Dave Kemmer. Thanks, Dave. Did all that.
Our associate producer?
He did all my work for me. I didn't even watch any racing this weekend.
Really?
Weekend, yeah. Heard the Roval.
The Roval was pretty crazy.
I heard. I'm sorry I missed it. Also coming up later, we have the weekend weather pit stop with Ryan Weekman and the how many for last week. Winners include including in the studio and online. And if you want to be thinking about the how many for this week's show, we're going to be talking about how many modifieds at Sandusky.
Supers or just regular modifieds?
I think it's just regular modifieds.
Okay.
So we'll let Chris Mize in on that one.
All right.
He probably will have a better insight. We'll let him guess first, so that way maybe we're close.
Yeah.
Some other news around the area. Rusty Schlenk traveled to Tri-City Speedway in Granite City, Illinois for the 3-day Mod Mania. He wasn't driving a mod, I don't believe.
What the late models were there, too.
On Thursday, he won his heat, finished 7th in the feature. Friday, finished 4th in his heat, took 3rd in the feature. And Saturday, finished 3rd in his heat, took 2nd in the feature. Bobby Pierce won Thursday, Friday, and Darren Klein was the winner on Saturday. American Ethanol Late Model Tour. They canceled their Hoosier Autumn Classic due to rain.
Imagine that.
It was a pretty wet weekend. I can attest to that. Friday's portion was rained out due to thunderstorms in the area. Saturday's portion was canceled due to more rain and the forecast of more rain throughout the day. It will not be made up. Their next event is coming up October 12th at I-96 up there in Lake Odessa for the Yellow Hose 40.
Wow.
I'm sorry, yellowhose.com 40.
Okay.
Makes it better. Let's see what else we got here. Nope, I don't like anything on that page. I don't know why this was on here because we already kind of knew this about the Ford Sprint car engine. Remember that whole deal?
Oh, yeah.
With Tony Stewart. He debuted at I-96 back on August 16th. Went to victory 2 weeks later at Bumper to Bumper IRA Outlaw Sprint Series event on August 31st at Plymouth Dirt Track in Wisconsin. So I guess they're officially revealing their 410 sprint car engine. I didn't read the story. I just read what.
Really?
Yeah.
You read that very well, though.
Did I? I don't know about that. We're going to skip that. Okay, let's talk a little bit about what happened this past weekend with NASCAR. AJ Allmendinger took the lead from Christopher Bell. 20 laps to go. Went on to take his first NASCAR Xfinity Series victory of the year during the drive for the Cure 250. Tyler Reddick, got some news about him coming up, finished second, and Austin Cedric finished third. Next up for the Xfinity Series is Dover. I didn't realize they're going to Dover next weekend. Or this weekend, I suppose.
This weekend.
Holy crap. See, I've been out of it.
A couple days hence.
Saturday at 3 p.m. on NBCSN. Chase Elliott was the leader on a lap 66 restart of the Monster Energy Drink Series Bank of America 400 at the Charlotte Roval when he made a mistake and hit the tire barrier in turn 1, causing the caution to come back out. I saw a picture of that.
Scott,
the nose first into the tires.
That was amazing. They were coming to the green on a restart, and he went into the turn 1 on the Roval just a little too hot, and the car went right straight into the tire barrier. I mean,
was that like last year in that one restart where everybody just went straight into the tire barrier?
Oh, he head on,
just him?
Head on, and he hit the tire barrier and must have instantly hit reverse because he shot backwards, hit low gear, and was gone.
I think I read something that he hit it hard enough that if it was a passenger car, it would have triggered the airbags.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But it was, it didn't do a lot of body damage. The back of the hood was buckled up a little bit. The ensuing pit stop, the guys taped everything down, and he was the class of the field all day long. So
he restarted in the back, and he put on a passing clinic, reclaimed the lead with 6 laps to go, went on to claim his 3rd victory of the season. Alex Bowman, who was battling to transfer to the next round of the playoffs, finished 2nd. Kevin Harvick held on to finish 3rd. Eliminated from the playoffs, Brian Newman, Eric Almirola, Kurt Busch, and Eric Jones.
It was really tight for Ryan Newman. Almost felt bad for him. He
just barely got in to the playoffs anyways, didn't he?
Did you have any notes on there about Chase Elliott's burnout after his win?
Not on the burnout, no.
Okay. Well, he went to turn 1 on the Roval, the exact same place where he stuck it in the tires, went up against the tires, and just burned them off.
Okay.
Just to show.
And the tires held?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting.
All right. There was some post-race action that I did hear about quite a bit on pit road between Bubba Wallace and Alex Bowman.
They'd had problems all day, Scott.
That's what I heard. It's from what
actually, it even goes back a couple of weeks. Alex Bowman and Bubba have had a bit of a history the last month, and
I can't picture. No, I guess I can't picture Bubba getting upset. He seems like
PO'd.
a pretty laid back dude.
And Alex Bowman was laying up against the car. Paramedics there trying to cool him off a little bit, and I think Bubba thought he would just help and
gave him a shower with his
water bottle. Yeah,
that's what I thought I read. And
somebody on the internet criticized that because you don't know where those lips have been, and then he sprayed it on somebody. I was, come on, get real.
Wait, you're a nurse, right? That could spread germs.
Highly unlikely.
Okay. I don't think so.
All right, ready, Ron?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I did read that NASCAR was going to talk to him about it, but I didn't read what the outcome of that was.
I don't know what they said, but
I didn't see any penalties being issued or anything.
I believe it comes under the heading of a couple of years ago's edict of "Have at it, boys."
Well, they wouldn't have had a talk with them though if it was that.
Well, maybe they said, "Bubba, that was as cool as hell. Do it anytime you want. It helps our ratings because our ratings suck."
I'm sure that's what happened.
Yeah, NASCAR would have said that.
All right. Ryan Missler traveled to Hilltop Speedway on Saturday for a 5,000 to win race. He qualified 6th, started on the pole of the dash, which he won, and he started on the pole of the feature, dropped back and finished 6th.
Well,
thought I'd share that.
And any reason why he backed up? He's been so good this year.
Dave?
Yeah.
NASCAR and ARCA, I did hear about this. They've announced a new championship format for 2020. And I think we've talked about this before, and it sounds pretty much like what they said they were going to do, where they're going to see 3 historic regional championship series and a new 4th champion, all under the ARCA Menards banner. There's going to be the ARCA Menards East and West series, which will be basically what the K&N East and Pro, or K&N Pro East and West series were. And then there's going to be a champion crowned in each of those series. The ARCA Menards series. This is like almost getting too complicated, though. Like, we're making things really complicated here. The ARCA Menards series, not to be confused with the ARCA Menards East and West series, but just the plain ARCA Menards series will be a 20-race national tour. It'll compete at a combination
How many races?
20 race.
Ooh.
Which is what they had said originally. It'll compete at a combination of super speedways, short tracks, as well from Daytona, Talladega, Pocono, Madison, Toledo, and the 2 dirt tracks.
Okay, so Toledo is on their schedule. That's pretty cool.
Yes. The last championship series will be the ARCA Racing Series Showdown. It will consist of 10 races inside the larger ARCA Menards series that will feature the best of the 3 series coming together and crown a showdown champion. NASCAR also announced that if a car owner has an East, West, or National Series car that meet the 2019 rule book, there will be a rule package that will allow them to compete in 2020. Series starts out in Daytona on Saturday, February 8th. You get all that? You got?
Yeah, sort of.
Take notes? Okay. And that's pretty much, I think that's all the... Oh, no, I do have some more. I got some more.
Okay.
While we wait for Chris Mize to give us a ring.
Yeah.
Tony Stewart's going to be inducted into the Texas Motorsport Hall of Fame as the 22nd member of the elite racing fraternity for his accomplishments both on and off the track. He has 2 cup wins. 2 cup wins? That's
Gotta
it?
have more than that.
Gotta have more than that. 4 pole awards, 2 in Cup, 2 in IndyCar, more than 1,000 laps led at Texas. Maybe it was just in Texas.
Okay.
That makes sense. As well as 3 NASCAR championships, 1 IndyCar championship since 2008. He has hosted the Smoke Show Fantasy Driving Camp. Fans donate money to Speedway children's charities for a chance to ride with Stewart in a 2-seater. I wonder if that's like that thing he did with Darrell Waltrip at Eldora.
Yeah, yeah.
You're going too fast!
Slow down. Oh, my God, I'm going to die.
How much of that was acting and how much of that was real?
I don't know. I'm thinking Darrell was pretty stressed.
It sounded like it. Other inductees include Scott Dixon from IndyCar, Dixon's car owner Chip Ganassi, NASCAR Xfinity champion Tyler Reddick, and late Dallas Morning News reporter Jerry Fraley. I believe that's it.
Okay.
Texas Motorsport Hall of Fame ceremony is at the Grand Ballroom of the Speedway Club on Saturday, November 2nd at 11:30 a.m.
Did you hear anything about the truck series with the engine failures in NASCAR?
I did see something about that.
Yeah.
About the Thor Sports?
It affected Thor Sports.
3 out of the 4 blew up.
Right.
At Las Vegas. And I believe I read just a little bit ago that the engine builder, and I don't remember who it was, it had an L in it. But
Ilmore.
Elmore, is that what it was?
Ilmore, ILMORE.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's what it was. Said that it was because of the heat at Las Vegas.
Right, whatever. Okay. But they said
So you're not buying that?
They said the motors went lean and burned some pistons and
Was it sabotage?
No. I don't know, Scott.
Sounds fishy because
and it wasn't just
weren't they all in the playoffs too?
Yes.
And because of that, didn't some of them fall out?
Yeah, for sure. Johnny Sauter and I forget the other driver, but it took them out of the playoffs. And Duke Thorson, who owns ThorSport, strongly lobbied NASCAR to make a special provision to put his 2 drivers into the chase. And he didn't mind starting last, but he thought that since NASCAR had named a spec engine, those engines should be expected to last an entire race. And that wasn't the case.
Okay, then.
Ilmore is going to make sure that fresh engines are available to everyone that ran that race.
You know who else runs those motors?
Well, they're supposed to last, I think, 3 or 4 shows, but
Yes.
they didn't.
I mean,
And those were fresh motors. That was their first race. So I guess the entire field is getting a replacement engine for this week.
okay. One other announcement about Tyler Reddick.
Going to the big show.
Richard Childress Racing announced yesterday that Tyler Reddick will move to the NASCAR Monster Energy Drink Cup Series for the 2020 season. Driving the number 8 Chevrolet, Reddick replaces Daniel Hemrick, who piloted the car this year for RCR. So,
Tyler Reddick has a lot of fans in this area. Obviously, came from dirt late models, so that's pretty special. And I guess he just has a whole bunch of people that have been following him, and has stayed pretty close to them.
okay. Good deal. Congratulations to him. Still waiting on Chris Mize from Sandusky Speedway. Supposed to be giving us a call. I just sent him a message. I don't know where he's at. Talking about the big Budweiser Cavalcade weekend they have coming up this weekend. Originally tonight was supposed to be the Dirty 30. The original date.
Dirty 30.
Yeah, we were supposed to kick off that whole weekend. It wouldn't have been too bad, I suppose.
No.
A little chilly out. It might have worked. But that was originally then rescheduled to the 12th, and then sponsorship issues caused that to fall apart. But the Budweiser Cavalcade weekend still going on. Tomorrow, I believe, is just practice, and then they got racing going on Saturday and Sunday. And Chris was supposed to call and talk to us about that, and I don't know where he's at because he always listens to the show, and he's not answering my message here.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I guess we can just go on.
Does he know that our phone number is 419-214-0925?
He should, 'cause that's what I typed to him.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that you actually gave him 419-214-0925.
419-214-0925.
Yeah.
That's what I typed him.
Okay, good.
It's right there. It's like he's...
Well, I can't see your laptop.
It's right there. You can't see through the back of it?
Okay.
So are you racing this weekend?
Yes.
I know, it's a stupid question. Steve racing this weekend?
Yeah.
You think we'll get a lot of guys from Michigan come down again?
Well, I don't know.
Late model guys. I know Rod Mouse comes down from Michigan, does the videotaping.
Right.
He sent me a message earlier today saying he was going to come down for that.
Okay.
For this weekend. And because I guess nobody up in Michigan is running this weekend.
I think the whole state of Michigan is pretty much shut down other than I-96 with their
They're done
big
for,
race
everybody's
next weekend.
done for the year except for 96. Well, how about we call Chrissy then?
Either that or give Chris Mize a call.
No. Do you have his number?
Yeah.
Well, wait, his number's right on the Sandusky website, isn't it? Yeah, we can do that. He's punching buttons over there. All right, you beat me to it. Wait, that's not it. Is it?
Yes, sir.
That's not the same one that's here. It is the same one. Okay. I got it right.
Why would Scott, after all this time, why would you ever question me?
I don't know. I didn't think he had that area code.
Oh, I see.
Whoa. Oh, I think I just dialed 911. Sorry.
Don't answer.
9 1. Okay, now I can dial. Find out where he's at. Maybe he thought this was tomorrow or something. Maybe he's busy with Budweiser Cavalcade stuff.
Maybe he's been going nuts and...
Oh, wait. The phone's ringing. This might be him. Hi, is this Chris?
This is 911. We just had a hang-up call. Everything okay?
Sorry, that was my bad.
Okay, just want to make sure. No problem.
We're good.
Thanks.
All right, bye.
Wonder if she wanted to be on Hammer Down Racing Report. Scott, don't dial 911
I hit
again.
1 once, but I
No,
have to hit 9 to
your
get an outside.
Your finger stuttered.
All right, see, there was a one beep there. Then we just hung up on Chris because we thought that was Chris. Oh, my goodness. It's a good show.
We usually mute those numbers, but Chris has his...
It's right there. It's on the website. It's probably going to be like, what are you guys
Yeah, hello.
Chris,
Yeah.
Scott Hammer, Ron Miller. Is this a bad time?
Oh, shit.
Well, that wasn't what we expected.
I'm sorry, man. I forgot to call in. I got tied up. I'm not on the air, am I?
You are on the air.
Oh, boy.
Good thing it's
huh?
Good thing it's a podcast.
Yeah, good thing we ain't on the radio or FCC becoming a C-Scott tomorrow, huh?
FCC won't take us off the
That's
air.
all right. I already dialed 911 and hung up on them, so it's
Well, that's a felony,
yeah.
though.
Well, I didn't think it went through, but do you have a couple minutes to
Yeah,
talk now?
yes, I do.
All right.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys.
That's okay. You're taking away your own time, but
No.
let's talk about this weekend's Budweiser Cavalcade. Tell us what's going on.
Well, the modifieds, 5,000 to win, 500 to start. Right now, I believe we're up to, I think yesterday was 36 entries pre-entered already.
Wow.
I would anticipate that going to Saturday when we roll out about 40 to 42 cars.
Wow.
So, last year was a heck of a show, even though it took us 3 weeks to get it in because of rain and the weather. But, that's the highlight of the weekend. And then we got crate sprints, street stocks, Lake Erie stocks, our Renegade series. We got the Midwest Compact series back in, and then we got our beginner stocks. So Saturday's pretty much your preliminaries with the everybody but beginner stocks, Renegades, and Lake Erie stocks will run a feature Saturday night, and then they'll run another feature on Sunday along with everybody else.
So those guys are getting plenty of laps.
Yeah, they're going to have plenty of laps. They want more laps on Sunday, and I said you better wait till Saturday's over to see how your car is before we start adding laps on Sunday to them guys. But we anticipated, me and Kevin were talking earlier today. We're looking right around 114 to 120 cars, to be on the grounds this weekend.
Sounds like a pretty busy weekend.
Well, honestly, it's kind of strange. We did a Facebook Live the other night, and I was talking about it, and I can remember, Ron, you probably can too, back in the day.
Yes, sir.
I keep saying back in the day, it was nothing to have 160 cars at these cavalcades, and parked in the infield full, and but we're happy in today's world. We'll be ecstatic if we hit that 114, 120 car mark. It will be real ecstatic in today's asphalt racing.
Where did you park 160 cars at Sandusky Speedway?
We had them all in the infield, in the pits.
Holy cow!
Yeah, Chris, I have some real fond, actually a couple of very fond memories of the Cavalcade. Once participating there, and once when we were selling tires there. The race with the car was what a hoot, and we had a friend with a cottage not real far away, and 3 teams kind of shacked up there for the night.
Party.
Buddy. Oh, man, that was stupid party, but yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I was preaching the other night, Honestly, guys, a lot of people have lost sight of these end-of-the-year races like cavalcades. You remember it was Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is what we used to race at Sandusky.
Absolutely.
And, Wednesday night, the party started a little bit, but, tonight, like Thursday night right now, we're in full swing, and, come Sunday at about 3 o'clock, you were just wishing everything was over, But, and that's what we're trying to get back to is like I said, I was saying the other night, is these are fun races. Yeah, you're serious whenever you got 5,000 to win up, in a division. It's serious, but these are supposed to be fun end of the year races, and I'd like to see people start getting back to that. Leave your Facebook comments. Don't worry about Facebook. Have fun. Watch the races Saturday night. Go down in a bar afterwards, buy Budweiser, Pepsi, whatever. We got a DJ playing, and have a good time. I mean, that's what I just want to see come back, Ron. You remember them days.
I absolutely do.
And I can remember late model guys, street stock guys, and at Cavalcades. I can remember what their crew chiefs drive, and different people drive the cars. Now, our Renegade division, it's kind of funny. These guys are playing eeny, meeny, miny, mo with the cars because these drivers have all changed cars, driving each other's cars, and that's what it's all about to me. I mean, there's no points, it's about fun.
My other favorite memory of the Cavalcade, we were there selling tires, and we did okay selling tires, but because it was the end of the year, guys were bringing tires up, and we had a pretty well-equipped trailer with tire changer and big compressor, and Chris, I never made so much money in the pits in my whole life as we did changing tires that weekend.
Yep, changing tires.
I think it was $2 on and $2 off, whatever it was. And guys were coming up. They were standing in line waiting for us to change their tires. I left with a bulge in my pocket that was absolutely amazing.
Wait a minute. If that could be taken way out of context there.
Scott,
we know it's money.
Scott, we know it was money. Don't go there.
Where's your mind at, Scott?
I'm tired. It's been a long week.
Yeah, besides that, if the bulge is in your pocket, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, there you go. But, we start, you're going to have to go on Speedway's Facebook page or the website, snowspeedway.com, look at the times and the admission prices. I was saying I should have them, but I don't pay a lot of attention to them. I know what time I go over there, but it's actually pretty decent priced, for the amount of racing you're going to see. And then I threw in on the Renegades. I don't know if you guys, Florida had that. We seen it. It was on Facebook with the front wheel drives. I believe I want to say it might have been Bubba Raceway Park, but the bump and run where they're all lined up in the infield, spread out. Two guys go out, and the winner comes in and bumps the car behind, and that's who he chooses to race. And we did that earlier in the year, and it was great. And we're going to run that again Saturday night, too, along with everything with the Renegades. So,
that sounds
just trying
interesting.
to mix it up.
I've never heard of that.
Man. Well, it was, I thought we had 12 cars in there. And I thought, okay, these fans, we had a pretty good crowd that night. They're going to get into it for the first 3 cars, and what the hell am I going to do then? They're going to start getting bored. They were on their feet the whole time. And then what was funny is you got teammates. You got, three guys on one, kind of teammates, another 2-3 guys that are. What was funny is when teammates started bumping teammates to go out, and he played it up a little bit, and the fans were into it all the way to the end. And I've been getting asked if we're going to do it again, so I thought we'd throw it back in Saturday night just to mix things up a little and have a little fun.
Chris, what was that race that you ran? And Kathy, was it at the Hangover race a few years ago, where you had to go across the start-finish line? Where you had to go across the start-finish line backwards?
Oh, that was their Slam Duro they used
That's
to
the
do.
one. That's the one.
Yeah, that was very popular. The insurance company.
That was pretty insane.
Yeah, the insurance company didn't care for it, and the front stretch wall didn't care for it one time, and they had to kind of.
That's the one I'm remembering.
Yeah, where they had to go across backwards, and oh my God, it was crazy. It was a fan favorite, but a couple guys went to the hospital, and insurance companies.
Yeah, it's all fun and games till somebody gets an eye poked out, right?
Right. Well, it's fun and games till the insurance company steps in, and then it's.
Scott, the basic premise was you could run a full lap, but when you went across the start-finish line, you had to go backwards.
What was the penalty if you didn't?
So you were out.
Oh, okay.
You were out.
Disqualified.
Wait, but you can't see anything backing up a race car.
Right.
Well, you had to do a little pinwheel turn, and then once you got across the start-finish line, you'd whip it around and
hope somebody else isn't right there doing the same thing.
And run another lap. Yeah.
And that's what was fun about it, is there was normally someone else there doing the same thing. you know, you pull a James Rockford from the Rockford Files if you were smart and get down towards turn one and whip it around and go. But
Now, this wasn't
you
part
know,
of the Cavalcade, was it?
No,
that was Hangover.
This was
They
part of
had
the
a
Hangover
series.
race.
This was
They
during.
had a series.
Really?
The series, yeah, they ran quite a few of them, actually.
Actually, they
And-
looked
and-
like demo derby cars. The ones I
Yeah.
remember had the exhaust coming up through the hood. And
Yeah, full body cars.
Yeah.
I mean, full size cars. It was, you know,
Well, back,
and the wall didn't stand a chance.
Chevy Impalas and big old Chryslers. Some
Yeah.
pretty cool stuff.
back to the Cavalcade. How many years has this been going on? If Ron was selling tires there,
Oh,
tell you
Scott,
what,
be careful.
This Cavalcade, I believe, you know, I don't have exactly how many years, but if I had to guess, you go back to the late 50s, probably. You
I
know,
would
and
think.
Deckers started doing it at the time, and
I'm thinking that we were there with a car 67, 68,
okay,
probably
then
69 and 70 too.
so it's been a while.
Yeah.
now correct me if I'm wrong, because I was way too young to even, you know.
Oh, here we go.
Wasn't this Cavalcade used to also be part of the, I don't know if you remember the Buckeye 500, where they ran 5 tracks, 100 laps with the late models.
Mhm.
I believe Cavalcade was part of that too. But, you know, you go back as, you know, even as early as 20 years ago, when we had late models, there was nothing to have 40 late models there.
Well, and the
you know.
Supers used to be part of that show too.
Right, super modifieds, and I mean, you know, and with the times and costs and everything, you know, everybody scaled back a little on you know what they run, but you know this idea with the 5,000 win, 500 to start, that come from Kevy J. Cox,
Really?
Kevin's son.
Right.
We're riding around last year about March, and he comes up with this idea, and he had it jacked up a little farther than that, and I about wrecked my truck, you know. So you got to be kidding. And you know, him and his dad were talking that night, and I think they called me and they said, "What do you think?" You know, and you know, it worked out great. Last year we had rain Friday. We didn't get practice done. You know, we still had our open practice, but it didn't start till 6 because of the weather. Then we had races Saturday. It rained all day Saturday, and they quit, and we ended up getting some. But we still had 39 modifieds with.
Wasn't there one class on Saturday that got their race in?
Yeah, we got street stocks in, and I think they wanted to kill me because we probably shouldn't have ran that feature. But
I've heard some reports from the Fremont truck guys that was the most fun they've had with a race car in a long time.
Well, we put the modifieds out to run the heats, and it's kind of funny. You guys will get a kick out of this, being dirt guys, and you know, it was too slip. It was slick, and the fog in the middle, you know. And I said, well, hell, get these guys off. See if the dirt trucks want to run. And we called the dirt trucks to their trucks, and I'm standing outside the tower, and the guys are walking through the tunnel, and the one guy, I don't know who it was, says, they don't want to run on that, but hell yeah, we love being sideways. And we went out and ran a feature, and, you know, they put on a hell of a show.
I heard that it was an awesome show.
Yeah, and you know, so some of them guys are coming over this weekend to run with street stocks.
Very good.
You know, they're so, you know, it's always a good time, Cavalcade, and this year with what we see on his pre-enter. Last year at this time on a pre-enter, we were sweating a little. I think we had 19, 25 cars. You know, we knew more were coming, but you know, it's hard when you're looking at your fan base, and you know. You got 18 entries, and now this year it's a lot more. There's a lot more talk and a lot more generation, you know, of interest. Because if you go on our page, our Facebook page, and you look, there's 34, 36 modifieds. I can tell you right now, there's a who's who of modified racing in you know, Michigan and Ohio. I mean, there's some big hitters on there in the modified world on asphalt, and you know, it's generated a lot of talk, and, you know, hopefully it'll generate a lot of fans in the stands.
Chris, you've been around racing a long time. What's it going to take to put the fun back in it that's going to get us back to those kind of days?
You know, it's talking here about a couple weeks ago about that, and everybody wants to blame Facebook. Okay, yeah, Facebook's a great tool, but it can be a downer too. But Facebook ain't taking the fun out of racing. The people are taking the fun out of racing. So these people, realize that this is just a hobby, and they quit bitching and moaning, and because you beat me, Ron, doesn't mean you're cheating, and doesn't mean I complain about it and get all mad, and
Yep, absolutely.
It means I got a choice. I go home and work on my car all week and make it better, or I go home and leave it in a trailer, and then Friday night, Saturday morning, decide to change the oil and think I'm going to gain 3-4 tenths off that.
That's my philosophy.
Yeah, and what it's come down to, in my opinion, I don't have the answer to that, but I got a theory that when these guys loosen up a little and start having fun themselves a little more, instead of having their little cliques where they run in their trailers and right away they're on Facebook, updating their status and stuff like that, until they start coming back around to what it used to be. Guys used to go back in the pits, and in between races, if guys weren't working on the cars, you'd see 5-7 drivers hanging around bull crapping, having fun. After the race, not everybody got in their cars and left. Now, I realize today's a different world. I'm not saying drink and drive, but you used to couldn't even walk into the Speedway bar after the races, years back. People were in there, and they weren't all drinking. They're drinking pop, beer, just socializing. Until this starts coming back, I don't know.
When we
start getting some of that back, you're going to get some fun back in it.
When we were living in upstate New York, a lot of the racetracks there had a clubhouse where they had pizza and sandwiches and maybe a few adult beverages. And then after the races, you'd have to go to that clubhouse to get paid. And there were a lot of racers that left just about broke.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's the way it used to be at Sandusky. I remember I'd get paid $30 a night. This is way back when I worked the corner on a safety crew, and I can tell you every Saturday night, it cost me about $40-50 after I spent that $40 in the bar.
But damn, you had fun, didn't you?
I had a blast, and that's what. But see, nobody's creating right now. Nobody's creating a remember when story, Ron and Scott. I mean, if you stop and think about it, Ron, as many years as you've been in it, and as many years as I've been in it, we could probably sit for 3 days and talk about remember when.
I want to write a book about remember when, but that's another story.
A spin-off podcast.
Right, but
that's
I don't see any of this. I don't see any of these. I'm sure there is, but not like there used to be. These remember when moments, and we need to get back to that. And that's what I was kind of preaching about the other night. Listen, yeah, it's a race. Yeah, you got to be serious, but let's have some fun. Saturday night, let's have some fun like we used to. And then Sunday we'll get serious again about racing. But, let's have some fun while we're here. And trying to get that back in, though, is pretty hard.
And that really goes back to my story about busting tires at one of your cavalcades quite a few years ago, because the guys weren't coming over and buying another set of tires to qualify, another set of tires for the heat race. They were swapping stuff around to make it do because it was the end of the year, and everybody was there to enjoy themselves.
Right. I know a super modified team back then that I can remember they'd go out in a tire wall right there by the pit.
Right.
I can remember them going out and picking tires out. Oh, these still look good, going over and putting them on. A lot of the fun that's taken out of this, I think, is you're hitting it on the head, is the cost of doing it anymore.
Right.
And when you're paying, just for a street stock modified or whatever, you get 560, 580 or whatever the hell it is. I don't know what dirt tires are, but for a set of tires, and the street stock guy buys sets of tires and he's racing for 500 to win. He's in a whole $80 just on the tires, not counting pit passes. And I think this has taken like you say, Ron, it's taken a lot of the fun out because of the cost. I mean, it's hard to control that cost. Gas is going to be what it is. Racing fuel is going to be what it is. Parts going to be what it is. But until we as track promoters or whatever start scaling this back, our 2 lower divisions are doing fine. And there's not a lot of cost to run them 2 lower divisions. And if you look throughout this year, most of the fun had by racers were in them 2 lower divisions.
And I can believe that.
Our Renegade guys are just a tight-knit bunch of guys that week in, week out put on some of the best racing, but had some of the most fun. And you watch them after their feature, they're all huddled around, bull crap and laughing. Sometimes those tempers flare, but you're going to have that in any race, But until we start getting back to that, start scaling back the costs, and, fans all want to see, bring late models, bring this every week. Well, write a check for it, and we will,
Yeah.
Again, we're talking to Chris Mize, race director at Sandusky Speedway. Budweiser Cavalcade going on this weekend. You got practice tomorrow. Is that right?
Practice tomorrow from 12 to dark, and then the party starts tomorrow night.
Saturday night, racing starts at 7. I think I have it right here. Gates open at 2 o'clock. Racing starts at 7 on Saturday, and then Sunday, gates open at noon, and racing starts at 2 o'clock.
Chris, you've got 2 minutes, and I know we've got some people wanting to hear about that other race,
the Dirty 30.
That's the one. But you've only got 2 minutes.
All right, here's the short sale of it: is sponsor backed out. Now I've been getting what sponsor. The last thing you're going to do is name a sponsor that you had maybe coming on board and backed out. The other thing is the entry list was kind of low when we were talking about it, and we put the numbers to it, and even adding cars on that we thought might come, the numbers just didn't come up. We were going to take a pretty big hit, and to try to find a sponsor within a few weeks and that, it just, unfortunately, it was all about numbers, like we were just talking, and can't afford to take a hit that big a hit. If you're talking a couple $100, between me and Doug, that's one thing. But when you start talking thousands, it wasn't worth the risk. Maybe I think you guys did a great job in trying to promote this. Maybe me and Doug dropped the ball a little on trying to do it. I don't know, but we'll revisit it in the off season. And
I was going to ask that. Is there any chance maybe next year? Or
I think all of us learned a lot in 2020.
Yeah. And that's what we're looking at. Me and Doug had talked, and I think he said that in one of our messages, that let's revisit it for 2020, and that gives us almost a whole year to secure a sponsor and
get that money up front.
And not have one. I've talked to several. Hell, I was talking to try to get Kenny Wallace there and a few other. And
I think
like
maybe we started planning it a little bit too late in the season because everybody had things booked by then.
Right, and it was a great concept, great idea, and believe me, it bothered me. It bothers me not to do this, but financially, there's no way it doesn't make sense, and unfortunately, I know there's some pissed off people, and I get that, I understand that, but unless someone wanted to come up and write a pretty huge check.
Well, I got John Young had a question for you. He said, ask Chris, how about the drivers in all classes pay a $200 entry fee? Could the Dirty 30 still happen? I'm not going to pay a $200 entry fee. I'm just saying.
No, that's the thing. I'll be honest with you. Something like what we're doing this weekend on a 5,000 win 500 start, the entry fee, it's $50, $100 day of. I get that, and I'm that's fine. But I'll be honest. I hate entry fees. I hate charging a driver an entry fee to come race at your track, and it's always bothered me. You get a lot of guys that won't sign up because of the simple fact they're not going to send $30, $50, $100, $200, especially when you got a lot of season left. They could total their car out, and now they got to chase that $200 back, and I think what it is, and I'll take the hit on it, is, I need to get my head out of my rear end for next year and do a little bit more legwork and secure the sponsor earlier.
Well, hopefully we can get that going. Hopefully we can get that going next year.
I'll take the blame on it. I thought everything was going to be good and maybe laxed off a little bit and wasn't where I should have been on it. And unfortunately everything fell through and sometimes you got to make these decisions. They're not popular ones, trust me.
All right,
They're not popular with me.
One last question for you here. Mark Burns wants to know, does Sandusky Speedway still have Quaker State wings?
No.
No, okay.
Okay.
That was an easy answer. Chris Mize, thanks very much. I know you're busy with this weekend. Good luck with the Budweiser Cavalcade, and this is the last race of the season, right?
This is it until hangover. Yeah.
So, all right. We'll see you at the hangover race.
I appreciate all you guys do, man. Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Then we'll see you in a couple months.
All right. Have a good night.
Good night, Chris. It's Chris Mize, race director at Sandusky Speedway. I told Chrissy we were going to call her like 10 minutes ago, so we're a little bit behind there. And I got to look up.
And Oakshade runs on the clock, They're pretty punctual.
They are.
So.
They start when they say they are most of the time, unless there's some. All right, let's try not to down. Say okay.
Hello?
Chrissy!
Yes.
I'm sorry, Christina Hendricks.
You're there.
I have to be professional with you. This is Christina Hendricks, Oakshade Raceway. You got an extra race coming up this weekend.
We do.
Surprise!
We, after getting rained out last weekend, we decided to reschedule and run this weekend. So we got a full show with our late model sportsmen, bombers, and compacts. So
now, how big of a deal is it? How big of a deal is it adding, changing the schedule last minute, adding something like that? I know that Sprint Speed Weeks, there was a lot of schedule changing going around, last minute kind of things, and that seemed to work out pretty good.
It did. It worked out well for them. This will be the first time, I guess, that we've added one in quite some time.
Like ever, maybe?
Like ever?
Yeah, well, I wasn't going to say that, but very likely could be. But with the internet and social media and all that, I think it makes it a lot easier. I'm not going to say it's 100% foolproof, but we knew when we canceled last week that we were adding it. So with the phone calls that we got Saturday, we made sure we told them that we were running the following week. So hopefully it'll be pretty good.
Now the show
one more week of racing. The
show is potentially a little different from last week's race, right?
It is. Our last week's race, the late models were mandatory on their top list. It's not mandatory for Saturday. It's optional. If you've already got the roof off and you want to leave it off, you're more than welcome to. But other than that,
no UMP points.
No UMP points, correct, because the Fall Nationals are this weekend. And if we would have started racing and gotten rain throughout the program, then when we made it up, it could have counted as points. But since it's an add-on, it doesn't, because the points end this weekend at I-55.
Got it.
Now, what about the topless on the bombers and the sportsmen? They're just standard configuration, or they can be topless if they want?
I'm going to go out on a limb here. We didn't talk about that at all, but if they want to be topless, sure, they can be topless.
So that's optional in all the classes other than the front wheel drive cars, and for structural reasons they have to have the top.
Yes. Yeah, we don't want them to take the roofs off. So
and I know you had some questions about this race counting towards perfect attendance.
Correct. It will not. Since it's an added race, it wasn't on the schedule. I understand some people might have had plans or and I do know a lot of people do schedule stuff around their racing, so to make it fair to them and everyone, this weekend will not count as perfect attendance. So if you had perfect attendance going into last weekend, you still have perfect attendance.
So this weekend is pretty much just a race to win. No points on the line, and just to have fun.
Right. No points on the line, just an added race. We lost what?
Quite a few at the beginning of the year.
6 or 7.
I think Saturday made the 8th rain out, I believe, last Saturday. So, it's been it was definitely a slow start, and then there was a few here and there, and so we decided, and I know it's going to be a little cooler on Saturday, but it's still not cold.
Bring a blanket. You got blankets for sale still?
I do have a couple blankets
there you go.
for sale. Yep. Mm-hmm.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Have you heard from any of the Michigan late model drivers? Know of any that'll be coming down this weekend? I know that videographer Rod's coming down.
Yeah, I had heard you had said that earlier. Have I heard from any? Not really. I did read on Rusty's Schlank's Facebook page that he would be here. Shipley, the winner from 2 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. He said he was coming. That Garrett Wiles, I think he put on his Twitter that he was taking the top off for this weekend. So that's what I've heard. I haven't heard more, but I'm sure we will have a good field of cars. So
all right, and that's Saturday night, Oakshade Raceway. Gates open at 4, racing at 7, right? Same times.
Correct. Yes.
All right.
Yes, we're not changing anything. So, all righty.
We'll see you
all there. And, all right. Sounds good.
Thanks, Chrissy.
Something to do Saturday night. One more race.
Yeah.
Exactly. That chance to get one more of them burgers.
Yeah.
Right.
Or the hot dogs.
That's
there you go.
Only a buck.
Only a buck. There you go.
Right.
All right, Chrissy. We'll see you Saturday. Thanks for taking some time.
Yep, thank you.
Yep, bye.
Bye.
Christina Hendricks, czar of the pits at Oakshade Raceway.
What about Ryan Weekman? We've got him on hold still?
Yeah, he's been holding this whole time. How about we do how many? I was going to do that with Chris, but you guys
Spoiler alert.
You guys kind of were going down memory lane there for a little bit. But he did mention about how many modifieds he was. I don't know if you were paying attention. But I'll let you pick first.
I always pay attention.
How many modified Sunday for the Cavalcade?
I'm going to go out on a limb and say 42.
That is the answer to everything. The life.
That's right.
Hitchhiker's Guide. 42. All right. What do you got, Kathy?
38.
38. Going conservative. All right. I will go right in the middle. Going with 40. Anyways, last week's winner was Ron.
Yay.
There were 0 topless late models at Oakshade this past weekend. And you picked 22, so you were closest. Online, our flagman at Oakshade picked 17. So he was closest to that 0 number. So if you want to play along online, go ahead and put your guess in the comments. If somebody guesses the same number as you, then whoever guessed it first gets that. And you could get a Big D's pizza.
That's the modifieds at Sandusky.
Modified Sandusky on Sunday.
On Sunday, yep, for the feature.
For the 5,000.
That's it.
That's it. All right, how about we listen to Ryan now and find out how that weather is.
See if he's still on hold.
Yeah, we'll see if he's there.
This is your weekend weather pit stop forecast. I'm First Alert meteorologist Ryan Weekman. All right, looking at the races here for Saturday, we've got Oakshade, we've got Sandusky, both those kicking off at 7 o'clock. Weather looks really nice for us here. Going to be a cool day with highs in the 60s. Lows should drop back down into the 50s for the mid to late part of the race time there Saturday. Sunday out at Sandusky, we'll have to watch for the potential for some scattered rain showers. Most likely than not, it shouldn't be very heavy. Should come through early in the day, but could cause problems Sunday. Keep an eye out for that. This has been your weekend weather pit stop forecast. Be sure to download that free First Alert weather app. I'm First Alert meteorologist Ryan Weekman, all by myself. No sound effects this weekend. Goodbye.
You missed the sound effects last weekend, didn't you?
No, I was watching.
Oh, yeah, okay.
From Florida, Scott.
Wow, they got the internet in Florida? Crazy. Dean Henry says, confirms, still on for the Big D's Pizza, and he also is guessing. I don't know that he should be allowed to guess if he's
Of course he does.
I guess if he's giving away the pizza, he can guess.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, again, if you want to win a Big D's Pizza, go ahead and guess how many modifieds will be at Sandusky on Sunday. That's about it.
Since I won.
Oh, wait,
since I won last week, do we need to get a hold of Uber Eats or whatever to get our pizza here for next week?
Well, I think it's only the online winners.
Oh, jeez.
Here we go. You have to talk to Dean about
once again, you make up the rules as we go, Scott.
Well, he said I could. So,
jeez.
Again, Oakshade Raceway in action Saturday night with late models, Sportsman, Bombers, Compacts, new event, added show. It'll be the final show of the year. Gates open at 4, racing 7, general admission $14. Sandusky Speedway also in action with the Budweiser Cavalcade, Modifieds, Crate Sprints, Midwest Compact Touring Series, Street Stocks, Renegades, Lake Erie Stocks, Beginner Stocks. Gates open at 2, racing at 7 p.m., and general admission just $15 on Saturday. Sunday, back in action at Sandusky Speedway with the Budweiser Cavalcade, day number 2. Modifieds, all those same ones, they're all going to be racing. Gates open at noon. Racing will start at 2 p.m., and general admission is $20 for that. So it's pretty reasonable for
it's
all
very
that.
reasonable
for the main event
for that much racing. So if you're looking for something to do Sunday afternoon, make sure you go to Sandusky.
So hopefully Mother Nature cooperates with that race.
Ryan sounded optimistic.
Optimistic?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't get that, but I'm...
Any showers are going to...
You sound optimistic, so I'll go with that.
He said any showers are going to be light and probably earlier in the day.
So the Fremont dirt trucks that'll be running with the street stocks will probably have an advantage.
They'll have a huge advantage.
Well, good luck to them. We'll be back in action next week for another Hammer Down Racing Report. Don't forget to go to ToledoCityPaper.com and make sure to vote for the Hammer Down Racing Report, or to actually nominate us. You have to actually nominate, because they're doing the nominations right now.
Right.
Nominate Hammer Down Racing Report under the media section, under the local podcast category. So Best of Toledo.
Another few weeks, we'll be begging for you to vote for us, but
every
please,
day. But right now, you just have to do this once per email.
Just once. Yep.
Once per email address. That's it. We appreciate your help. Again, thanks to Ron Miller Race Cars for sponsoring this lovely studio for us.
Yeah.
And the cameras lock up.
It's the least we can do.
Give him a call, 734-856-7223. He's got covers, too, for your car. If it's sitting outside this winter, cover that sucker up. It'll thank you in the spring.
Yeah.
There'll be less rust that you'll have to fix. Thanks to Dave Kemmer again. Without him, I would have been lost this week. I'm lost anyways, I guess. HammerdownRaceReport.com. All the ways you can listen, watch this wonderful program. Let's go home.
Yeah.
I need to go back.
Go back to work, Scott.
I need to go back to work, yeah. So, see you next week. Live on Facebook, 7 o'clock Thursday night. Also live on Periscope, Twitter, and sometimes YouTube when it works.
Goodbye,
Stick
y'all.
with the Facebook. It's more reliable. We'll just go with that. Yeah. Goodbye.
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 You have been listening to the Hammer Down Racing Report from the Ron Miller Race Car Studio. Listen on demand on iHeartRadio.